Wonderful. We're live. Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Leadership Series. I have with me such an incredible guest, Dr. Emilia. How do I get to present you? You're a doctor, medical doctor, which is quite impressive on its own. You're a bestseller author, which is another very impressive thing. You're an entrepreneur, and that's just a big title. And the best one, you're an ambassador for L'Oreal. Wow.
I used to be, but I think one of my favorite titles is actress because
Actress. And the list goes on. Oh, wow.
It's kind of like I kind of feel happy that I get to do so many things, and I feel that I'm living as I'm preaching. So just following my joy.
Oh, you are? I can see that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love it. So how do you package this very everything about you and still be so beautiful and calm and grounded, like everything is so easy?
Well, let's say everything has not definitely been easy. Like everybody that knows me knows that my life has been anything but easy.
Really?
I divorced from both of my kids. Every woman knows that it's never easy thing. I've been, 10 years ago, actually the pain and suffering was the source to write my books. So it's probably like we just met with you like a couple of weeks ago. So now I feel that, yes, I'm in a place where I feel like I get my, I have my shit kind of together. But 10
you
years
get
ago,
everything back together, like you just all the pieces back up. Yeah.
But what you don't probably know, and what I'm also sharing in my book, is like 10 years ago, I was suffering from back pains, like debilitating, like sleep problems, panic attacks, like all kind of issues. And that made me ask, like, because I had just gone through a terrible heartbreak. So that made me ask, like, if love can make me this sick, love has to be able to heal me. And that's how I became the love doctor of.
But that's because you're a medical doctor. Do you think everyone can just come up with this conclusion? If it's
I couldn't come, like, it was like, start of a long journey, years of research. And then kind of one night I had this, oh my God, like the question basically that I was asking was, because first years I studied, what love does to our brain and what happens, when we fall in love, what happens when we fall out of love, and, why can heartbreak be so painful? But then I've always also been very interested in addiction. And at the same time, even though my first book, it was about the science of love. So I was actually addicted to love, romantic love. So I had started to medicate myself with relationships. And as we know, so there's a very fine balance between addiction and passion. And as Dr. Gabor Mate beautifully puts, so addiction consumes, passion creates, and love was consuming me.
Wow, this is incredible. This is incredible. So what does it mean to be addicted to love? Because us as women, we love romance. We never get enough of romance. Are we all addicted to romance?
Not all, but what happened to me was, because now I know that, I was very, I don't have severe childhood traumas, but the heartbreak I went through, was it like 13 years ago? So that actually was very traumatic for me. So what happens in our brain, it really changes the chemistry. So basically our serotonin and dopamine systems change, and we will start getting like bigger rewards. In my case, from love. In somebody else, it could be alcohol or drugs or whatever. So the high phase of love for me was like the best drug ever. I would feel alive. It was like amazing. And then after that, it was like how, the addiction system basically works. It's like the higher the spike of dopamine, then the lower the drop. And, we start getting also the baseline drop of dopamine, which will make us feel very anxious when nothing special is happening. And that was me.
Oh, let's go back to this, because we're going to come back. I'm going to go back to the highest rate of dopamine. So is it that when we are in love, or when we know that somebody is loving us? Can you explain more?
Well, there's a big difference, like on the like romantic high phase of love, because that's kind of the phase, early stage in love, which in average lasts like year and a half. So basically there, our neurochemistry is like, we have high dopamine levels, which is like, we say the goals and we want to do everything
We're
to
like,
win
we want
that.
to fly. It's like,
Will
fly
make sense.
me to the moon. That's what
Yeah,
it is. We're just like, let's just go.
Also, like the norepinephrine levels are high, the cortisol levels are high, so we might not have a lot of appetite. We might not need that much sleep. We're kind of made to just reproduce, have sex and kiss, and all that. And then actually, that's also the phase where our serotonin levels easily drop, which makes us anxious. And the purpose for that anxiousness is actually get close with that loved one and like, have sex and kiss and make the hormones like flow again.
And create.
Yeah, and create. But the thing is that in my case, it was addictive. So basically I was unbalanced, I was traumatized. So I was actually absorbing or like kind of attracting that same energy. So basically men that they were also unbalanced. And we all know what that result
it's
is.
a frequency.
Chaotic,
The way you are, you become a match to whoever you attract in your life.
Consuming highs of love, but also a lot of challenges and basically toxic relationships. So in my case, it was like a relationship after relationship until I hit kind of the rock bottom. And I was like, oh my God, like now something has to change. And the question, we always need a question. So I think the only actually really good question I have asked was like, how do I balance these three main love hormones, so dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, without a relationship?
Yeah. Is it possible?
Yeah. And it's here.
That's your goal. Let's get a picture of it. Let me see it. Absolutely. That's incredible. The healing power
of hormones, harness dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin to unlock your best life. Yeah. So basically my hypothesis was like, okay, once I get these three hormones in a good balance without the relationship,
So can you tell us what are the hormones again so that we repeat them to everyone listening? So it's oxytocin.
Yeah. I always, for some reason, I start with dopamine because it's like I'm very dopamine high. So dopamine is about reward, motivation, competition. It's basically the hormone that makes us take the next step, whether it's like towards Oscar award or world championship or
I love that.
Everything is driven by dopamine.
It's like
and it's a very strong reward system. So basically once we get something, let's say like, okay, this is my dream car and I get it. So we all know it feels amazing, but then soon you will get, it feels normal, and then you need a new goal.
So it's just like a peak and then it doesn't stay. It comes, it's like doing exercising, like when you go running.
Yeah, well, that's different. That's more endorphins. But with dopamine, basically the main thing maybe to understand is that if our dopamine system is tied to material sources, we will never be happy. Because once we get that car or bag or prize or a title or whatever, we will feel empty. So that's why the key is purposeful living. And I felt like for me, the biggest change was that being a traditional doctor, because that for me, for some reason, it wasn't feeling purposeful. I felt like I was prescribing too many medications and it just didn't. So for me, for my dopamine system to make it kind of sustainable and stable, the key thing was to start to really embrace joy and my own superpowers, which meant that I needed to step out of the comfort zone, start writing books, started, actually acting, which gave me more energy, and then building my dream company. And now
this is how you become an actor, as you were going into understanding these fights.
Well, that's kind of, I feel like acting was, it was a childhood dream. And I was actually married to probably the #1 actor in Finland. And we actually lived in Hollywood. And it was always a dream. But then because we got divorced, I moved back to Finland. So I felt like I can't really do it because I'm the wife of an actor, you get it? But then 4 years ago, when I had, I had started to doing this inner work myself. So I was like being brutally honest with myself. And I realized that, you know what, I'm still dreaming about it. And then I did, are you familiar with EFT tapping?
Yeah, the tapping. Yeah.
I did some tapping, which I'm also like, if somebody's interested. So I'm teaching, you can go to my webpage or read the.
Sure, we will drop the page. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you find like the basics of tapping, how to do it. So anyway, I was doing some tapping for that fear of I'm not good enough to act, and kind of like
to let go of that, to
limiting
overcome
beliefs
fear.
that I can't act. And you know what happened? My phone rang in 2 days, and it was the biggest production company asking me to audition for a lead role
Oh my
for
God,
this
in Finland.
show, which was basically adaptation of Sex in the City,
Yeah.
but mother-daughter perspective. And I got the lead role. It was crazy. And we did 2 seasons.
Within 2 days. So this thing works. This tapping things work. Oh my
Well, I think it was the inner work plus the tapping. So like everything that I was like kind of removing the obstacles, everything that I'm kind of teaching in the book.
Yeah.
But also the fact was like, okay, it wasn't then that, okay, I became an actor, but it was actually a very purposeful thing for me to do, because I was able to show my daughter, she's now 19, that you can do basically everything. Not maybe it's safer, but you
I
can
saw
be a
her, and
lawyer.
she's so
And you
beautiful.
can,
And yes.
yeah, you can be a dancer, or you can be a
Can be
doctor.
anything you want.
Sure.
I love that.
Yeah, and I feel like whenever I have done something that really makes my heart sing, so that energy has been, able to move, has
To
helped me move
sustain the
forward
peak
and
of
something,
dopamine.
create something else.
And it has been able to sustain the joy from your power. Yeah. So let's continue on the 2 other hormones. So we spoke about dopamine. What are the 2 others?
Well, dopamine, as I told, it's kind of the gas pedal of our system. So we go forward. And by the way, in my book, I have named it as the molecule of direction, because it's kind of trying to guide us to our true path.
Okay.
So, but we always, if we have a gas pedal, we need the brakes, and serotonin is the basically brakes, and it's the hormone that is the deeper meaning I see of serotonin is that it's actually protecting our energy. And in my case, the trauma had shaken the serotonin system. So I did not have like breaks. So which meant that my behavior was almost like hypomanic. This is like very usual when you're in business, or probably you're coaching leadership, that go. I would just go. There's just go. And you never
break.
And it's like, so basically what you can do is then with serotonin system, basically to build a strong serotonin system. So we need to stop and ask the question, what I'm afraid of. Kind of like face our fears and do that work.
And see it. Yeah.
And see it. And then there's lots of tools. It might be somatic practices or therapy, or even, sometimes like crowning yourself and giving space or letting it go or whatever. For example, in my case, I had a huge fear of being alone, which was making me addicted to love, because I thought that, I can't thrive without a relationship. So I needed to work on that fear. And now I'm actually like, I know that I'm more than fine alone. Of course, it's amazing to have love, romantic love in your life, but I know that I thrive also alone. So it's just a huge bonus that comes to your life if you're happy. So that's basically the essence of serotonin. I have named it as the hormone of safety.
Okay. And this hormone of safety, is it something that you could create yourself? Like, what is an advice that you can give? Like earlier we spoke about dopamine, you can get yourself into a pike of it by doing things, motivation, and something that is just like upbeat. What do you do for the serotonin?
Well, this is kind of like, now, I don't know if you notice that the world is full of like boosting tips. It's like, do these things to boost your dopamine. It's like, write a list, or make it goals, or a dream map, or whatever. But in my book, basically, I'm teaching the core work. Like, we can boost daily. Let's say we can boost serotonin by eating turkey, or like tryptophan-rich food, or we can boost serotonin by going into the forest. 6 minutes in the forest gives a spike in serotonin.
Incredible.
Yeah. And we can boost dopamine by taking a cold shower. It's a 15%.
That's kind of a burst of.
Or sex, 100%. Meth, drugs, 1000%. Like, there's a lot of like things that boost your dopamine. But the thing is, like, what I don't believe in that boosting, really. We can, like, it's kind
it doesn't last, right?
Supplements. We can take supplements, but unless the basics are there, it won't help you. So basically, if you ask, like, what's the most important thing for serotonin, so it's creating inner safety.
Wow.
So that,
Feeling okay. It's like I'm okay. And I love what you're saying, because one of the things that we do in our programs, inside the BAL method, the Believe Act Lead programs that we have for women, it's just to go back to the source, which is I'm okay. When you are able to bring your mind back to this, you kind of really find safety within you. And I love it how you connect that to hormones. It's like this is how you, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's because most of the time the world we are, it's very kind of masculine, and we are addicted to this cocktail of stress hormones, so dopamine, noradrenaline, and cortisol. And that feels familiar. So basically when people say that, listen to your intuition, so lots of times we actually confuse between intuition and actually the addiction to stress hormones, because that feels right. So kind of the there is to just embrace boredom and just being, because I don't know about you, but I come from a family where you have to do all the time things. Like
Yeah,
I was
I came from the family too. That's why
yeah,
we're programmed that way. And if you didn't come from that family, the school had programmed you to do
yeah, and I
continuously.
feel so sorry because I have a 7-year-old son who is very wise and amazing, and he just started school in Finland. They start when they're 7, and I see how suddenly you're put into this pipe. You go to school 6 hours, then you go to basketball, and then you come home, and suddenly like there's no time
Finland is one of the
to
best systems in education. Look at the other parts
at
where it's
least
like
worse.
all
But
day.
yeah,
Yes.
but still, like the kids, they should just like
Play.
stare at the sky and just play, and spend a lot of time in the nature. And I'm actually now going to. They're building a new school, so I'm actually lucky that I get to talk with them and kind of
That's nice.
create
Raise
ways how we
awareness
can
about that.
embrace this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what's the third one? We talked about dopamine, the serotonin, the third
Yeah.
one.
So the third one is oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Okay.
Which a lot of people call like the ultimate love hormone, but I think it's always like it's a teamwork. So we need these three. And I have named oxytocin. A lot of people know that it's when you give birth, we get a huge spike in oxytocin. So it's like I don't know what
We
about
felt so good. That's true.
it's like you don't need anything else. You're
That's
there,
right.
you have everything.
And you wake up in the middle of the night and you breastfeed and you just have that power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you feel so connected and so good.
Yeah.
So that's the essence of oxytocin. And right now we do live in very oxytocin deficient world, because we are so disconnected because of the social media, phones, everything. We're a lot of people are. When I was unbalanced, so I was all the time either ruminating in the past or thinking only when I achieve this or that. Key to oxytocin, I have named it as molecule of connection.
Okay.
And okay, it's like kind of everybody knows that you get oxytocin actually if we just stare each other into the eyes. So it's like
Really?
it's
Like now.
harder like now during this,
Yeah.
but
No, we created oxytocin. We feel good. We do feel good actually. And it feels
yeah.
it.
And it's even stronger if we would be in the same room. But just like eye connection, so this is much more powerful than if we were just talking in the phone. But the thing with oxytocin that I noticed was that when I was unbalanced and unstable and suffering, so I would do all this stuff. Like I would, have pets and hug my kids, and I would have friends. But the thing that was missing was connection to myself.
Oh.
I had lost that. So basically, if we're not connected to ourselves, we can't connect to other people or the nature.
I love this so much. It is so true. And when we feel sad and something is not going right, you don't like yourself as much. You don't even want to look at yourself. There is
And you
no
feel just
way.
restless and alone. You might be surrounded by thousands of people, but you feel alone. When you're I've been giving keynote speeches or practicing medicine. So I feel if I'm looking back, I wasn't there. I would deliver the speech, or I would
just in a very mechanical way.
Yeah.
Intellectual, like you're just your conscious mind. Just
yeah, and that's also a trauma reaction. But then, so I needed to work on that, and then it was like a lot of meditation. I've actually also did some plant medicine, which of course needs to be done with the experienced team and safe environment. So it also helped me. In my case, for example, it was so strong that after a retreat, I was like sitting under a tree, and the feeling of safety
Started
and
coming.
oneness was so big that next morning I had this back pain for 20 years. So it's just like my back just opened.
It was
And it
gone.
was like kind of that feeling I had been carrying, because I moved to live by myself when I was 16. So I felt like I have to carry everything on my
The
shoulders. So it's like,
responsibility. You have to carry everything.
yeah. And then suddenly I felt that I don't. Like I'm held. And it was so strong. So that I felt that changed my oxytocin system in a very
Wow, I love that.
positive
You
way.
said
And after that,
something.
of course, life happens, and
You
we do get
used
stressed, but it helped.
you used a word, oneness. You
Yeah.
used saying, like, how did you describe that in a moment where you were sitting in the forest and you by yourself? How does it feel like? Maybe you can describe it to whoever is not feeling that unrest in him, because a lot of women carry, backaches and shoulder aches, and it's just like it's just heavy. How do
Yeah.
you get yourself to
So
that
for
state?
me, it was suddenly this just deep feeling of being held by something bigger, like
Mm.
the nature and like just everything
Like
around us.
the big tree
The big
around you.
tree, and seeing the mountains, and just feeling that I'm part of this.
Ah,
I'm part of everything, or we are one. And
yes.
and and I think kind of that's the essence, and that's how we are basically like born, that kids just like they are connected to everything. And then we start kind of like the modern world we're living in starts to mess that.
Yeah.
And from that place, it's also interesting because oxytocin is like, if we think leadership,
Yeah.
so oxytocin is the big boss of our
Uh-huh.
hormonal hierarchy. So it's
Uh-huh.
like the CEO of hormones.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Basically, if we feel connected and present, so all the other hormones will be in better balance.
Wow. So we need to basically, this is good because you're giving us a roadmap here. We
Yeah.
need to focus on making sure that we have the oxytocin and it's always in balance and all the rest will come. Yeah, if I understood it right. Or tell
So
me with your
basically,
own
it's
words.
kind of the roadmap that I'm then like teaching in the book, is like basically the roadmap, that like the focus, that's more of the dopamine, basically, that we feel that, okay, I'm on my path. That basically that's like, kind of the work that we're doing there is like thinking about like, where do I feel like I'm at the flow state, which things I'm good at, what are like really the things that are aligned with my true values, and kind of getting
Yeah.
your goals right. And then with the serotonin, it's basically removing the obstacles, which are the traumas, the fears, the limiting beliefs, everything that.
Uh-huh.
So we are like safe, and we're not, because when we have fears, we are like losing so much energy, because we start pleasing people. We
Yes.
start, like I didn't have any
It grows
boundaries.
up.
That's
We
also
don't
a
let
trauma
ourselves.
reaction,
Yeah.
not,
Mhm.
the lack of boundaries. So that's the serotonin work. And then the oxytocin work is like being present, being connected to my self, having the feeling of oneness. That's kind of the ultimate
The
oxytocin
ultimate.
work.
Yes.
And then I say that this is then kind of the love state. That this is like, once we get
Love
nailed
that.
these two hormones, so we are living in love.
And in love of yourself and love of life and love of it all.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
what I wasn't expecting,
Mhm.
what it was so crazy, because once I started, I kind of did this myself. So suddenly magic entered my life. Like
Mm.
things just started happening like craziest way, and synchronicities and everything. And it was like, when people say that you have to push and you have to do, actually things just started happening
Mm.
effortlessly, easy. And I feel like people say like, oh, you do so much. I'm like, actually right now I don't. I actually have pretty relaxed life, but things just happen because you have
Yes,
to
I
trust, and
love that.
you're not losing energy. And I stopped like pushing and pushing. It's basically
Effortless.
magic
That's what it
happens,
is.
and things
It's
just
like
like flow, instead
it's
of like
supposed to be this way. Yeah.
swimming against the current, which is start like flowing
So you're like swimming with the current now.
with the current. Yeah,
You're like absolute cruising on the waves.
exactly. like
And
surfing
this
on
is how
the
it's meant
waves.
to be. It's like when you lead yourself through all this understanding, and I love this conversation because you put in scientific word and explanation to things that, you know, it's like it's all emotions, but here you connect them to all the hormones so that it makes sense. So like we are like kind of, and this is like a fine line between the emotional understanding and the science behind it. And
Yeah.
when you do that, everything becomes effortless. I love it.
Well, thank you so much. I kind of like, it has felt very right and purposeful for me to combine kind of the ancient wisdom with the latest science. And then I think it's, kind of things have been changing and people are also now ready to receive,
Yeah.
I think, this information. So I think the timing seems to be right. And actually the book is already now sold the rights to 10 different countries. So it's resonates.
Congratulations. I am definitely reading the book this week because this understanding, and I have another fan here. Thank you, Alison, for being with us. I'm inspired by this and called to the ease and simplicity. Thank you, Alison. Yeah, Emilia, she's incredible. This is beautiful. So these three hormones make you fall in love again with love and life and yourself.
Yeah, basically that's and and I'm so happy that I was able to do it because as we started that, I have things together, so I didn't, and now I
Mhm.
feel that through this hormonal work, actually, it was like I unlocked my best self, and now I feel that
Which
I'm
is
back.
you're back, and
Yeah.
you're back with a story, you're back with advice, you're back with an empowering message, and I think that's incredible to leave a legacy behind. It's
And I
beautiful.
think it's and also like what I really love to embrace is that the struggle is actually that's essential, and that's kind of I see now all the challenges I had and all the dark moments, so that was important. So it's like how they say that we need that darkness
Mm.
for the light to enter.
Yes.
I really believe that that's so true. And then the challenges really have at least made me stronger, and I can tell people that you can do it. Like and also that when you have had hard times, it's
Mhm.
okay to be super tired. Like 8 years ago, I was so tired that I couldn't move. I was like, I thought that I will never able to be fly anymore because I was like so tired. So
Exhausted.
listen to also your body and give
Your body. Yeah.
time to
Give
heal.
yourself a break. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you will rise stronger and better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. It's such a beautiful message. It's like don't push yourself when you're at the edge and you can't do it anymore. Just take a break. Take a step back and listen to yourself, to your body. Understand all these intersections and hormones and all that stuff. Yeah. This is
Allow
beautiful.
things to happen. Allow, like for me, if there's work-wise, if something is not happening, what I do, I always go and do something super fun.
Mhm.
And I swear, when I open the computer, it has happened. Like the mail is there. So for
Oh,
me, it's like to get to the vibration, high vibration, and then things always just happen. But if I keep pushing, they won't.
that's true. And if you keep on checking, it's not there, it's not there, you're like in such a low thing.
Yeah,
It's letting go. It's a lot
it's
of
just letting go.
feminine energetics of letting go and
Yeah,
trusting and believing and letting things to come to you. And we
exactly.
tend to not do that because we are in freaking control mode and just want
We
to
want to
control it all.
control everything, and that's the thing that I'm so happy that I learned kind of that I was able to create that inner trust that
Mm,
what's the things that are supposed to come, they will come. The things that are supposed to go, they will go. And that's also a mantra I use, I love to use. It's like what is meant to be will come, what is meant to go will go. And that's just like
wow. It's
that will
beautiful.
like
What is meant to be will come. What is meant to go will go.
yeah.
And it's very reassuring when you hear that. It's like there is no mistake in what's happening. It's
There's no
just
mistake. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, this is beautiful. What a beautiful conversation. And I learned so much. And it's all about the serotonin and just making yourself feel safe and stimulating the dopamine and get your oxytocin all on top.
Yeah.
See, I learned them.
Yeah, it sounds like you just do it like this. Sometimes you need to kind of pay attention, a little bit of work, but I promise it will pay back. The
It does.
ROI
And you
is
give that,
huge.
you give the how to do it in your book.
Yeah.
To do it. Oh, wonderful.
It's
So I'm
actually
gonna.
like very kind of practical stuff. So there is the boosting tips, how you can like daily boost these hormones. But then I do give like kind of very guided practices, exercises, and also like kind of the questions that you have to ask yourself. So I tried it to make very simple and practical.
This was so beautiful.
It's not simple topic in a way that we're talking about like transformational journey. So it's not. I'm not saying that it's a
it's not an easy ride.
something that happens overnight, but sometimes also things happen. It's just like we need to be ready. Once we are ready to change, that's the first step. And once we take the first step, so usually everything starts to unfold.
Yeah. It is. I always say that. It's just you believe that in yourself. And when you believe, you start being ready to change. And then you take actions. And then how you become the leader and you lead yourself to a better version of you. This has been such a delight. You're so beautiful. And congratulations for your work, for the incredible thing. This is a gift that you gave into everyone. And really, this is amazing. It really is.
Yeah. And by the way, if we have German people, so this just came. It's coming out in 2 weeks. German version. It's on pre-sale too.
Amazing. So we will drop the link for everyone who wants to connect with you and who wants to get your book. I think everybody who's here, you should get the book and learn how to use hormones, because clearly it changes our lives.
It's on Amazon all over the world. So you should
okay, perfect then. Well, we'll drop the Amazon link then. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being with us. This was such a delight. You're so beautiful and so sweet.
I want to give you all the amazing work you do.
Thank you too. Really. Yeah. And we'll see you soon. We'll get to see each other again very soon. Bye everyone for being with us. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.